Hi everyone, this is Erin McKeon with Keller Williams, and today I have the incredible pleasure of sitting down with my dear friend Shayna Ronen and her business partner Jarusha Ariel, and they are co-founders of the I Can Do That Performing Arts Center. So ladies, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you guys met, and what you're doing with the Performing Arts Center.
Yes, so Shayna and I actually go way back. We have known each other since we were 9 years old. We met in the Belasco Theater Company, which was a youth theater company based in Walnut Creek, and that's where our love for theater really began, and the idea of possibly having our own theater company also was planted in our minds, and we grew up performing until we went off to college. We actually left for college at the same time to New York, and then 5 years ago our beloved director Eddie Belasco actually passed away, and that was the moment when we decided to go after our dreams. The stars kind of aligned, and we set out to create this nonprofit musical theater company for kids, and here we are just 4 years in, and we're expanding to be the I Can Do That Performing Arts Center.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Congratulations. And I love just hearing kind of that you guys have grown up together through this and kind of took the leap of faith to create this for the community of Danville. So congratulations. It's so amazing.
Thank you.
So take us through sort of the evolution, right? Because you started out with the I Can Do That Theater Company, based in downtown Danville, and now you are opening the Performing Arts Center. So can you kind of talk us through how that evolution took place?
Yeah, so we started off in this little tiny adorable studio in downtown Danville, and we started our first cast with 18 kids. And then just by word of mouth, the next cast we had 35, and then 45, and then we started maxing out at 50, and we were having between 75 and 80 kids showing up to audition to be a part of these productions, and we were doing for a year. And so when we started to see that we didn't have enough to offer these kids, we knew we needed to expand, and we wanted to expand to match what the desire was of the community. So we started offering classes and camps and workshops, and it was great. But we also saw, it's now been 4 years, and it started very early on, that we started to become a second home to these kids, and they would come early to rehearsal, and they'd stay late, and they'd stay and be like cleaning the mirrors, and they'd be practicing their dances, but they'd also be talking about what's really going on in their lives at a deeper level, and some of the pain and fears about growing up. What if I don't get the grades that I want? I don't get into this college, and it all snowballs. Or people being targeted because of race or gender or gender identification, and we saw that being a part of theater, which we knew from our past and our history, creates this vulnerable, open place. Right. And when you're vulnerable and you're open, you have more of a chance to connect and see that we're not alone. Yeah. So we saw that what we were giving these kids was a passion and a community. And we were thinking, we already need to expand. Our small studio isn't going to hold us, so we need to grow. But if we're going to grow, we want to be more deliberate about how we do it. We don't want it just to be an afterthought that they get this community part and they get this togetherness, love part. We want it to be a part of our programming. So as we're moving into the new Performing Arts Center, we're going to continue offering more and more performing arts training on stage, in front of the screen, behind the scenes, but we also are adding in community programming. So that's going to be like karaoke nights and open mic nights and dance party nights, things that bring the kids all together to really have their own youth community. And then we're also adding in wellness programming. So that's like meditation and yoga and youth groups, and actually helping to get the kids some tools that I know I wish I had when I was 13, 14 years old about how to set boundaries, how to listen to the voice in your head and choose the way you speak to yourself.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So that's been the kind of progression to where we are now. So going from maybe like a 500 square foot concept to hopefully a 6,000 square foot concept.
Incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It sounds like there's really a lot of offerings outside of just the theater piece of it, right? Which
Right.
is kind of how this all started. So
Yeah.
to kind of piggyback off of what you were talking about earlier, what age range are you working with at the Performing Arts Center?
Mhm.
Yes, so currently our age range is 8 to 18. That is what we've been working with for our productions and our classes. But once we're at the Performing Arts Center and we have more space, more individual studios where we can accommodate more, we definitely plan to expand that down to even preschool age in the future, and eventually all the way up to having adult programming as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So really, kind of all age ranges will be welcome
Yes.
on some level, which is
Yes.
fantastic. So we mentioned very briefly at the beginning that the Performing Arts Center is located in downtown Danville. So why this city? Why that area specifically? Why was that so important for the center?
We saw Danville as this amazing, picturesque little town. You know, the downtown is incredible. We love how quaint it is. We love that we all know each other, or at least downtown kind of gives us the ability to have that, right? If we take advantage of it. And then we were also looking at where theater companies were in the area. And so there are a good number in the, Livermore, Pleasanton area, and there are a good number also in Walnut Creek, and there are some here too, which are fantastic. But not as many. And so we saw this opportunity of this amazing town. They have, Danville has the Village Theater, which is literally steps away from all the local restaurants in Harts Avenue, which is
Right.
incredible. And so we were like, this is our place. And as a funny little, secret, we, Danville was the Village Theater was the first stage that I ever performed on in that theater company when we were
No
kids.
way.
And I always apparently told my mom, like, one day I'm gonna live in Danville. And I think there's just something about this town that's always drawn me and us to it. And so we were so thankful to make a home here.
Absolutely. Well, and Danville really has that sense, that downtown area has such a sense of community.
Yeah.
And so I guess that begs the question, do you find that most of your students are from Danville? Do they kind of come from all over? Do you have to live in Danville to be a part of the Performing Arts Center? Where are they coming from?
So because we've been so small, because we were limited by our studio size, and we didn't do a lot of marketing, it was all word of mouth. It has mostly been Alamo to San Ramon, although we do have students that are coming as far as Lafayette and Pleasanton. But we had to keep it small because we couldn't fit any more kids. We were already turning kids away. But now that we'll have not just one studio, but 3 studios, right? We can and want to be expanding in ways so that we're bringing children and kids from other neighboring communities. We also just recently created a scholarship program, and we have that seated, which is amazing, so that we can help bring kids from areas where they wouldn't be able to participate in after-school arts. And so we want to help them be able to come and be a part of it, and also help them figure out how to get to the rehearsals, because I know transportation is also an issue.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So it really sounds like the kids are welcome to come from any part of kind of the Bay Area to join the classes, which is fantastic and a great offering for people outside of the city of Danville, which is wonderful. So you mentioned earlier that you're offering more than just the performing arts piece, right? You're going to be offering wellness, meditation, some of these additional sorts of classes. So who are you looking for at this point to kind of add to the staff, add to volunteers? Who are you looking to add to the Performing Arts Center for help really in these classes?
So always teachers. We're always looking to meet other artists and find people who are passionate and driven and love kids and want to contribute. So wherever you are in the arts, we would love to have a talk and meet you. We're also going to have a cafe inside the Performing Arts Center, which is super exciting. We're actually going to be serving baked goods from Tall's Patisserie in the livery. So we're looking for people to help out at the cafe. That's a thing too. We're also, as we're expanding, we're gonna need more people behind the scenes as well, probably in, design, marketing, all the things that we never did really before because we didn't have the need, and now we really want to do it well. And the biggest thing is, roles is one thing, but people is different, and we want to find people who are driven and motivated and positive and team players, who want to build each other up, who want to live life out loud, go out on a limb, try new things and experiment. If you're that kind of a person, we can talk about what kind of a role would fit for you, whether it's a job or a volunteer position.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. So lots of different opportunities based on what people are really looking to add or what sort of value that you bring to the Performing Arts Center. So while you're in this physical transition, right? You've completely outgrown your small little 1,000 square foot space and are waiting to build out of, this beautiful 6,000 square foot space. Are you guys still offering classes? How is it virtual? Are you doing anything in person? How is that operating for you right now?
Yes, we are offering in-person classes. We are actually using this lovely outdoor space to hold some classes with 10 to 15 kids at a time. We're all wearing masks and staying socially distanced out here, but we're able to sing and dance and work on our acting and connecting, and most of all, just being together and having that time to connect face to face, since the kids are on screens the majority of their days now. And we've also begun offering some very small classes in our old studio, and doing some minor productions where they will be filmed at the end and shared with the families, since we can't, invite crowds of, the hundreds to the theater these days.
Exactly. And for what it's worth, these women put on amazing productions. I've seen them firsthand, and I still talk about them to this day. So you guys do an amazing job.
Thank you.
This is nothing short of a major undertaking, what you ladies are doing, and kind of where it started to what you're, building out right now. So why do this? I mean, it's such a big undertaking and such a great addition to the community, but why take that on for yourselves?
It is. We just believe very, very wholeheartedly in the power of the arts and the importance of connection, and it's really all for the kids. We know how much it impacted us, and we get emotional every time. I can see tears in her eyes.
Oh.
We get emotional every time because it really changed our lives for the better. Mm-hmm. And we can see it doing the same for these kids, and especially during this time when it's so tough, just being able to provide that for as many students as we can, we believe is important and is worth the work.
Absolutely. I love seeing that you guys are so passionate, and I think that speaks volumes, right? And really what you're doing is, like you said, giving these kids a place to be who they are, kind of come into their own, feel like they're going to a safe space, and it's really not what started out as kind of not just a theater company, is really turned into exactly what it's going to be, an incredible community space for the area. So how can people get involved? How can they support? How are the ways that people who may not be able to directly work or take on some sort of a role at the Performing Arts Center, what's the best way for them to get involved?
Thank you. Yeah, so the first and probably easiest step is to find us on social media and to follow us, and you can follow our story and really truly watch this building come to life, and you'll probably find some really silly, ridiculous videos that we put up. So we hope to keep you entertained. So that's a great way. Another great way is to share it. So if you see something funny or heartwarming or something that means something to you, if you could help get the word out to others, that's huge. We just want people to know what's happening downtown and what's coming downtown. But we also are still in the middle of a capital campaign. So we're raising $750,000 in order to build this performing arts center that's scheduled to open in January 2021. As I said, raising $750,000. To date, we've raised approximately $630,000. So we're well on our way, but it wasn't easy to get here, and it's not going to be easy to get to the finish line, and we really need community support in helping us find people that are motivated to help and to give. And we celebrate a $25 donation. We truly do. We're actually putting one behind glass, like no joke. And we celebrate a $25,000 donation. And we've been very lucky that we've been incredibly supported by the town of Danville, by many of our families. And we have approximately 20 donors that will now be on our donor wall. We're going to have a 45-foot donor wall in the center, and more information to come out about that soon, where these donors will really be represented and shown love for literally bringing this building to life. And in order to be on the donor wall, it's donors who have given between $10,000 to $250,000. And so we still have a couple of spots left on that donor wall, and that's for families, businesses, foundations, or clubs. So far we have the Rotary Club of Danville Sycamore Valley, we have the Donald Zonshine Family Foundation, and about 10 of our clubs, 10 of our families. So if you know of a business or a club or a foundation or a family that might be moved by what we're doing for the community and want to be displayed in this crazy, amazing art piece that's going to be our donor wall, we would love a warm introduction.
Well, congratulations on all of your success. Thank you for bringing, this passion to the community, and, the kids and the families are going to be so well served by it. We're going to include the contact information for the I Can Do That Performing Arts Center. So if you or someone you know is interested in getting involved, donating, supporting this incredible cause, please don't hesitate to reach out. Ladies, thank you for your time. It's always such a pleasure, and good luck and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erin.
My